Then after that, we had the debut of the Cruiserweights on Monday Night Raw. So, mixed bag, sir. I had mixed thoughts on this entire presentation. First and foremost, the match was amazing. The match was really good. It was Brian Kendrick, Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, and Gran Metalik in a fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match, the winner facing TJ Perkins for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship on Sunday's Clash of Champions show, which was won by Brian Kendrick. Fine winner. He won with a bully choke, which was cool, kind of introducing that to the main roster audience. He's only used that in the CWC. Before that, it was the Kendrick, which he could still do. But anyway, really, really fun match. No issues with that. It was more along the lines of, one, I would have done this in the first hour. Not that the crowd was dead. The crowd was into the match. Maybe not as much as they probably would have if they did it in the first hour, which I think it should be. If they can learn anything from WCW, it's that you should put the Cruiserweights in the first hour of the show. Maybe not necessarily in the opener. That's exactly what I would do. But even if they don't want to do that, they could always put them at the 8:30 mark, the 8:45 mark, when people are still awake and, they're still awake and at attention and stuff. You know what I mean? They're still fully paying attention to the show. Not always the case at 10:30 when you do a match such as this. So again, a really good match, but I feel like it would have benefited from happening a lot earlier on. 2, having Mick Foley make the introduction was fine. I thought he went on for way longer than he should have been. Way longer than he should have, just because, this is going to be great. It's a monumental moment. Blah. It's like, just, dude, fuck it. It's 10:30. I've been waiting all night for this. Just bring it out already. I love Mick Foley, but, I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't really necessary to have him out there for, I think, at least 5 minutes talking up the Cruiserweights. I mean, we already know how great these guys are. You could show a couple video packages, which they did from the CWC. That is enough for me to make the casual viewers care about these guys. It's going to take time to establish different characters for them and like who the fans are supposed to cheer for. That's always been a big gripe of mine. That was certainly the case with this match. The action was so good, it wasn't really that big of an issue, but that is something they need to work on in the future. They need more time. I've already seen people complain they're going to be, toned down from the CWC, which is obviously the case. They're not going to be having the same amazing matches they did in fucking CWC, because that show is an hour, and they didn't have the other matches to compete with, because they're going to blow everyone else out of the water. If we have a Cedric Alexander, Kota Ibushi-like match on Monday Night Raw, the main event's going to die a death. Unless they're the main event, which they obviously will not be, then they're going to die a fucking death. If it's just, if they're really killing it every single match and, they're really taking away from other matches. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying it's a shame and it probably won't happen. But anyway, so Mick Foley, reading off the note cards wasn't terrible, but it's like, dude, if you had Mauro Ranallo doing this or Daniel Bryan, who were fucking there and watching the whole thing with their own 2 set of eyes, then I feel like it would have come off a lot better if it was just those guys. So anyway, that was all right. The fact what bothered me more than anything else was that he was backstage, the newly crowned Cruiserweight champion TJ Perkins, but he was not on this show, or at least on television. Why? The guy literally is coming off the biggest win of his career last Wednesday, a mere 5 days earlier, and he's not even on the show. He's not even on the show. They showed a video package of him winning the title in the CWC finals. That's all well and good, but why wasn't he on commentary here? At the very least, after Kendrick wins, have Perkins come out. Because so far, the main roster audience, I mean, a lot of them know who TJ Perkins is, whether they were familiar with him from his time in TNA or they watch the CWC. But there's a lot of people who don't watch the network on a regular, other than the pay-per-views. They only watch the pay-per-views, and that's it. They don't watch, NXT. They don't watch the CWC. They have no idea who the fuck this guy is, TJ Perkins. So if their first time seeing him is on Sunday when he's defending his title, then I don't know. I feel like that was a bit ass backwards. So why he wasn't even out there was mind-blowing. The commentary wasn't terrible, but they really could have brought him out there. And they really could have brought him out there on commentary to talk about the match or at least confront Kendrick afterwards and do a face-to-face. The fact they didn't do that really dropped the ball in my eyes. But overall, I thought it was a good presentation. It was a good first night for the Cruiserweights on Raw. A nice solid start. Could obviously be better. They can work out the flaws in the weeks ahead. But my biggest thing, again, is having, first of all, the champion out there. Or at least interviewing him via a backstage segment or something. And 2, having these guys kick off the show. Putting them in the third hour to die a death makes no sense to me. I feel like it's, counterintuitive to do something like that. So hopefully they start kicking off the show, or at least be put in the first hour in the weeks going forward. But overall, though, I thought it was good. Really enjoyed the match. Definitely the best match in the entire show on Monday. And I look forward to TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick for the Cruiserweight Championship on Sunday.